What's happening, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to The Drop, a weekly show where I let you know the hottest games coming out across the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the PC, the Switch, whatever they might be coming out on, we will talk about them right here. For Warcraft fans, this is a pretty big week because Warcraft 3 Reforged is coming out on the PC. On top of that, Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition is finally seeing its conclusion and its release in the form of a TV edition across all consoles, and of course, the conclusion also coming out on PC. And finally, Journey to the Savage Planet is going to be launching as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. To kick things off, we have Warcraft 3 Reforged launching on the PC. This is a stunning reimagining of the revolutionary real-time strategy game that laid the foundation for Azeroth's most epic stories. It is a remake in the truest sense, featuring a thorough visual overhaul, a suite of contemporary social and matchmaking features, and more. Command the Night Elves, Undead, Orcs, and Humans as alliances shift and armies clash in this timeless real-time strategy game. Experience pivotal events in Azeroth's history like never before. The battlefield awaits. Play through the points of view of 4 distinct factions: the mighty orcs, the noble humans, the ancient night elves, and the insidious undead. Gather resources, build your base, and assemble an army. Recruit powerful heroes to lead your foes and meet your foes in battle. Destroy the enemy base to win the game. Vast campaigns. Relive the events of Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos and the Frozen Throne. Enjoy an epic saga retold with over 4 hours of reshot cutscenes and updated voiceovers that breathe new life into the earliest renditions of Azeroth's key characters across more than 60 single-player missions. Reimagined visuals. Every character, structure, and environment has been recreated to emphasize the depth, dimension, and personality of this rough-hewn fantasy world. Behold Warcraft 3's classic units in glorious 4K with updated animations that bring them to life like you have never seen before. A world editor and custom maps. Return to the game that started it all. Discover a vast universe of player-created games, including tower defense, MOBAs, RPGs, survival games, and more, or build your own with the upgraded world editor. And finally, multiplayer matchmaking. Challenge opponents with modern multiplayer matchmaking. Search for custom game lobbies and connect with friends through the BlizzardBattle.net app. With updated UI and countless quality of life improvements, it has never been easier to get into Warcraft 3. This game was originally announced in 2018 alongside Warcraft Classic. Now, of course, Classic launched late last year, and it took the world by storm. People started playing that thing like the day that it came out all those years ago, and it still is very popular now. Warcraft 3, of course, is a very different game because it is a real-time strategy game. It is not the giant MMORPG that Warcraft proper actually is, so this is definitely catering to a different audience. However, it is a very passionate audience at that is certainly going to be diving into this one. Now, of course, if you are coming in for the first time, this is, as the description says, the best time to do so because the game looks great, the mechanics have been updated slightly, and on top of that, you just get a lot of players and a lot of hype surrounding this specific game. So if you do want to dive in, Warcraft 3 Reforged is launching this week on the PC. Next up, Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition is coming out on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Technically, I want to make a little editor's note here. It is already out on PC, and it's not technically going to be the TV edition, but I wanted to make this known that the final episode was going to be coming to PC as well. So ultimately, when you see TV edition, it's pretty much everything Kentucky Route Zero. At twilight in Kentucky, as birdsongs give way to the choir of frogs and insects, familiar roads become strange, and it's easy to get lost. Those who are already lost may find their way to a secret hideaway, winding through underground caves. The people who live and work along this highway are themselves a little strange at first, but soon seem familiar. The aging driver making the last delivery for a doomed antique shop. The young woman who fixes obsolete TVs surrounded by ghosts. The child and his giant eagle companion, the robot musicians, the invisible power company lurking everywhere, and the threadbare communities who struggle against its grip. Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition is a magical realist adventure game in 5 acts, featuring a haunting electronic score and a suite of hymns and bluegrass standards recorded by the Bedquilt Ramblers. Rendered in a striking visual style that draws as much from theater, film, and experimental electronic art as it does from the history of video games, this is a story of unpayable debts, abandoned futures, and the human drive to find community. Originally published episodically over a span of years, the TV edition collects all 5 acts along with the interludes, which were originally published separately, available now on Nintendo Switch for the first time. Also for the first time, it has been painstakingly localized for French, German, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Russian, and Spanish, both European Spanish and Latin American. This is a game that I've heard a good bit about. Of course, it's been a bit of an indie darling over the past 5 years or so, but now this is the first time that everything is coming together bundled into one big package, which is of course very accessible for a ton of people. On top of that, this seems to be the kind of game that would fit very well on the Nintendo Switch. I feel like there's definitely going to be a bright future for that entry for this specific game. So if you have never gotten into Kentucky Route Zero, by all means, this is the best time to do so. And it's coming out this week in the TV edition, hitting PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. And of course, the final episode, the final series, whatever you want to call it, is coming out this week on PC as well. And finally, Journey to the Savage Planet is launching on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. This is an upbeat first-person adventure game set in a bright and colorful alien world filled with weird and wonderful creatures. As an employee of Kindred Aerospace, which proudly touts its rating as the 4th best interstellar exploration company, you are dropped onto an uncharted planet deep in a fictitious faraway corner of the universe. Launched with high hopes but little equipment and no real plan, your job is to explore, catalog alien flora and fauna, and determine if this planet is fit for human habitation. Onward to adventure, good luck, and mind the goo. Explore, fight, and catalog. Survey 4 different biomes on planet ARY26, scan and catalog alien flora and fauna at your own pace, and discover 30+ creatures, each with unique abilities, threats, and behaviors. Complete player-driven quests while uncovering hundreds of collectibles and secrets along the way. On top of that, upgrade to advance. Access new areas by upgrading your tools, including a laser pistol, a rocket pack for boost jumps, rocket boots for swift descents, and more. Your trusty 3D printer will turn any old space trash you discover into useful items. And finally, uncover the mystery. Are you truly alone? Solve the mystery to complete your survey of the planet. The first thing that comes to mind immediately is No Man's Sky. However, make no mistake, this game is not on the same scale as No Man's Sky. You are simply exploring one specific planet trying to determine if it is going to be habitable by the human race. Now, this is different from No Man's Sky, which essentially allows you to explore this randomly generated universe. This is very much so a planned kind of adventure. Now, you can explore, you can do other things. It's not necessarily a narrative-driven, spoon-fed kind of experience, but vastly different from No Man's Sky. Now, I will say, I'm very impressed with how the game looks. I'm excited to see how it performs, but I'm worried it might feel a bit hollow and it might be reaching for the stars. Now, that being said, the first thing that comes to mind is a combination of The Outer Wilds and No Man's Sky. It seems to be that kind of explorative experience coming together into one little package. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, Journey to the Savage Planet is coming out this week on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC, and I must admit, I'm pretty excited to see how it goes. Before we go, a couple of honorable mentions. First off, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's Byleth DLC is coming out this week on top of Pillars of Eternity 2. Deadfire coming out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Darwin Project is coming out on PC after spending a couple of years in beta, and finally Coffee Talk is coming out on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, so you never have to leave the house to feel like you had a date. Congratulations. But that rounds out today's episode of The Drop. If you enjoyed this one, drop me a like down below, and you can always catch a brand new episode Sundays to keep yourself up to date and in the know on the hottest games launching across consoles and PC. But let me know what games caught your eye this week, if anything, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.